While many are celebrating the news that the alcohol sales ban has been lifted, there are concerns that the ban should have been lifted more gradually. And I'm joined now by Maurice Smithers, Director for South Africa of the Southern African Alcohol Policy Alliance. Good evening, Mr. Smithers. Why are you concerned this ban has been lifted too quickly?
Hi, Sally. Thanks. Look, I think it's because of the history of what's happened over the last year. If you remember, after 1st of June, when the first alcohol ban was lifted, within a week, the trauma cases, number of trauma cases had risen by 49% after the hospital trauma centers were almost empty during the ban. And that was only when there was off-consumption alcohol allowed. In other words, people buying takeaways from bottle stores and taking home to drink. And then again, and that resulted in mid-July, government having to reimpose a second ban. Then the ban was lifted again in August. And then, of course, we saw another ban imposed in December because we saw a sudden increase in the problem. So we thought it would be much more prudent. We believe the ban should be lifted. We don't think bans are a long-term solution. So as soon as it's possible to lift the ban, and it seemed like it may have been okay now because the rate of infections and deaths was going down, but we think it should have been done more slowly and perhaps only to open up off-consumption sales.
It's a good point you make, and it also points to this sort of seesawing act that we could get caught in. Certainly these bans have highlighted our dysfunctional relationship with alcohol. Yet it's such a difficult situation because it's crucial, the alcohol industry. It's the driver of money and jobs. We've seen investment can because of these bans. How do we get the balance right between using it as a tool for creating jobs, but also not exacerbating our alcohol problem? And does the answer lie in re-looking at our alcohol policy?
Look, we definitely, well, we actually have a new policy because the Liquor Act of 2003 was found to be inadequate. So government came up with a new policy in 2016, which is based on the World Health Organization recommendations for reducing alcohol-related harm. And at the same time, the DTI presented a liquor amendment bill based on that policy. Unfortunately, that bill has come to a standstill since about 2017, and we believe that if that was reactivated and it was passed, we would go some way towards addressing the challenges we have. But I think it's important also to recognize that, look, everybody says the liquor industry is crucial to the economy of the country. I think that's a bit of an overstatement. The reality is only about 31% of people above 15 and above, age 15 and above in South Africa actually drink alcohol, and most of those people would drink relatively moderately. So yes, it is an employer. Yes, it does create jobs. It does generate wealth for the country, but it also comes at a cost. And studies have shown that the tangible and intangible costs to the country of alcohol are something like 2 to 3 times the benefits that we get from the industry. So we've got to find that balance, and our preference is that we err on the side of public health, and that should be the goal, is to ensure that we have an alcohol-safe South Africa, a place where when people do consume alcohol, it's done in a completely safe way for the drinkers and for the non-drinkers around them. And then if that does have economic consequences, then the society must take mitigating steps and try and help people to find alternative ways of making a living.
It's certainly highlighted that we need to address this, and urgently. Thank you so much, Maurice Smithers, Director for South Africa of the Southern African Alcohol Policy Alliance. That's an alliance of NGOs that focus on alcohol.